like everything in life, foundation is everything. So you need a really good foundation, okay, on that product or on that substrate so that your adhesion for your paint will last the longest. You don't want it to peel. Kevin Silliman with the Ohio Painting Company out of Dayton, Ohio. We've got a question today that's come in about what's the best exterior paint to use on my house. It does vary, okay? So if you have a cedar home and you're used to putting a stain on your house to let that absorb, great product. But we're going to talk about just a regular, let's call it hardy board, you know, for lack of, there's so many different types of composite wood out there. But the best that we've found product-wise to put on those, we like to start sometimes with a bare like wood, or the edges where we call them freezes, where they're cut and it's the bare composite. We like to put a really good primer on those. If you use an oil primer, which we have here, what you get out of that is absorption. So like everything in life, foundation is everything. So you need a really good foundation, okay, on that product or on that substrate so that your adhesion for your paint will last the longest. You don't want it to peel. So another great primer, this is for something if you've got, you know, maybe a slick surface, maybe a vinyl, anything at all that's, I mean, literally even glass, but this particular primer is called Extreme Bonding Primer. And boy, it'll stick to anything, and you've got it, you know for sure, you've got a great foundation. So on top of those, again, oil's going to absorb, so you want that for wood, okay? And then what you need for adhesion is something like an Extreme Bond Primer. And then on top of those, the two products that we use the most, okay? It doesn't mean that they're, you know, at the local store that they're top-rated paint, but for what we've found with our conditions in Ohio, Resilience and Latitude work well, very well. At first they came out with Resilience. Resilience is good so that whenever you've got a rainy day, you can paint, and literally 15 minutes later, there could be a monsoon and you'd never know it because it puts a shield over top of the paint. It doesn't dry it, doesn't cure it, just puts a shield that reflects the water. So a great paint. We've had that out for about 10 years. A couple of years ago, a paint called Latitude came out with that same feature in it. But this one, Sherwin-Williams must hate painters, because this one you can apply in 102-degree weather, 103 I believe it is. So you get that great performance, you know, from a rainy day. And then if it's just heat driven too, which typically if you've got a really hot day, you might have a storm come up. So we've got both of those in this. So we've got the Resilience in this, and then a heat type paint in here to where you can go up to 103 degrees. And I'd use it all day long on any house that I've ever owned, or $1 million, $2 million, $3 million home, doesn't matter. Great products. Now, there are better products in the store's mind, and those are going to be things like Duration. Emerald. The Emerald that we're going to talk about in a little bit is an interior and exterior paint, but for the most part, those are great paints, but they're very hard to work with. And if you're a homeowner, you don't want to try to move paint around and take the chance that you might not have gotten it all, and the thickness of that paint might start sagging because you didn't move it all around like you should, okay? That's pretty much a good definition, I think, of, you know, what types of paint to use on your exterior. We hope you've enjoyed it today. Hope I made a lot of noise for you, and we'll hope to see you again soon.